This is the Wisconsin Live Desk.
Hi everybody, Sam Kramer checking in from the Wisconsin Live Desk on this Saturday afternoon, where we wanted to provide you an update on the nearly 38-hour standoff that unfolded actually Thursday night all the way into late Saturday morning in Fredonia, which ended with a peaceful ending. And we have been following this story really from the beginning. If you're unfamiliar, this started with neighbors concerned. They heard gunshots in the area, and police came. They actually were talking with the homeowner. That is what they are saying, according to a release from the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office. Tried to get him to settle, to just kind of behave effectively, though he had weapons. And according to a news release, he said that he was willing to shoot anyone that came closer to his home. That effectively started a standoff late Thursday night. It went all the way through the night into Friday, all day long. Neighbors were told to stay in their houses to be safe, and that continued. That shelter-in-place order continued all the way from Friday into Saturday. In late Saturday morning, the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office said it was able to use non-lethal tactical resources to get this homeowner, again, that's the word they used, homeowner, to comply with their commands to come out to surrender. And they were able to end this peacefully, again, which is notable given the fact that they say that this man had several weapons, including a fully automatic rifle that he was shooting and at times was aiming at officers. Want to bring in Darronte Matthews. He is live on the scene there now that it has been opened up. Darronte, you've been in the neighborhood now for about an hour. What have you seen? What have you heard? What are people saying about how this really unfolded?
Yeah, Sam, well, the first thing that we noted when we came here on scene is the house that is at the center of all this attention. And you can see right now it is completely just destroyed. And this house has become somewhat of a spectacle that we have seen all day today. We've seen neighbors and people in the area just coming up here, just watching the aftermath of that nearly 38-hour standoff that has just resulted in the complete destruction of this home. You can actually see there's water leaking from the second story. The garage door is completely blown out. The doors, the windows, it's really just a mess right here. Neighbors tell me one of the biggest issues that they've had with this was just the noise. They say over the past nearly 38 hours, it's just been so noisy, starting from late Thursday night when neighbors tell me they heard loud music coming from this residence and also gunshots. We spoke to a neighbor who said she and her husband called police because they heard bullets flying from two different guns. They said one sounded like a regular handgun, and they said another one sounded like an automatic gun. So they said they called police, and then they said police were here within minutes, and then all the chaos after that just ensued. They say this entire block here on Fox Glen Road was just surrounded by police. We actually know that at least 14 agencies have responded here throughout this entire incident. And during that time, neighbors just recall hearing police shouting for hours, day in and day out, for that suspect to come out, shouting on the microphone, just telling the suspect to surrender, and that just did not happen. So neighbors tell me this morning the entire situation actually came to an end peacefully, as police have put it. Police said the suspect surrendered just before 11 this morning, and that the entire incident had concluded peacefully just after 12. Now, police have said they used non-lethal tactical forces to bring about this ending. We don't know what exactly that means. However, we have spoken to multiple neighbors who recall seeing the fire department hosing into this home. Neighbors tell me they saw the fire department hooking up the hose to the fire hydrant that's just a couple of houses down over to my right. And then we have another neighbor who actually said they saw the firefighters hosing into the home. So yeah, they said that was one of the biggest clashes that they heard this morning. But overall, after speaking to several neighbors, we've kind of gotten a mixed bag about how has been over those past 38 hours. Some neighbors say they felt completely safe because of that just huge police presence that were here, and others said it was completely terrifying because of the presence itself. They said they had never seen anything like that before, and also the gunshots. They say gunshots are not normal in this area. Fireworks, yes. Gunshots, absolutely not. So now, just getting the feel of it again this morning, a lot of neighbors just tell us they are completely relieved that this is over, and one of them said it's essentially brought people together as a community, and we've kind of seen that again when I said people have just been gathering in front of this house sort of as a community, just looking at the aftermath and just wondering, you know, how did this happen? Why did this happen? But thank God it is over, is the sentiments that I have been given from the people that I have spoken with so far.
Yeah, Darronte, just looking at this live shot here, it's remarkable, just the destruction of the house. It looks like, frankly, that it was subject to some sort of natural disaster. And it's also been interesting to see the neighbors kind of out and walking, and certainly you have to understand that they've been instructed to stay within their homes. Some of them have, and some of them left and then had to come back with a police escort to get behind that line. But we talked about those non-lethal tactical resources, and I think the water surely plays into that, seeing it drip from the second level there. What did you hear? I mean, we heard the one neighbor describe seeing them, kind of the firefighters connect that hose and then hearing the water, but were they surprised that they even went, they being the first responders here, even went to that length to end this peacefully?
Yeah, one neighbor, well, actually multiple neighbors said they saw the hose being connected to the fire hydrant, again, just a couple of houses down over to my left. And then another neighbor said he actually saw video of firefighters actually spraying into the home. So that's multiple accounts saying that that fire hose was used. As far as the surprise that they actually used that hose, one woman that we spoke to, again, the neighbor who said she called police, said, I think she used the word genius, that they used, tactical, that they use that tactic, you know, to sort of bring this into a quick resolution. She said it only lasted about a few seconds from what she heard. Now, she said she did not see the hose being sprayed, but she heard it, and she said she only heard it for about a few seconds. And then I think the word that she used was genius, to sort of use that, to go that route, to sort of end this standoff. That, again, neighbors are surprised that it lasted so long, almost 38 hours. A lot of them told me today that they're happy to just be able to finally get some sleep because of just how loud this neighborhood has been over the past, day and a half now.
And what was also interesting, too, is just the fact that because this went on for so long, 38 hours, that the SWAT teams actually had to take shifts. We saw on Friday that, Ozaukee County was leading it. Then for a good 7 to 9 hour stretch, Milwaukee County and Washington County kind of took over before Ozaukee County came back and took it on this night shift. It speaks to the complexity of this call, and frankly, it seems pretty obvious that neighbors today are relieved. Certainly seeing them walking in the background of your live shot, that shouldn't come as a surprise. And you mentioned the two, just kind of this dichotomy of feelings, that there's a relief that they were there, they felt safe, or they felt afraid. But I have to imagine they're all kind of breathing easier now. Like you mentioned, it's going to be easier for them to sleep knowing that this is done. The SWAT teams, the tactical vehicles are all out of there, and the threat is gone, essentially.
Absolutely, yeah. They said, they can breathe a sigh of relief now that it is over, because a lot of them just didn't know when this was going to end, or if there would be peace. One neighbor told me that she was worried about what was happening over just a couple of houses down from her, if it would spread over to her home. But she said her husband kind of put her at ease. But yeah, this has just been, like I said, looks like a community spot from we have seen for the past 2 or so hours that we have been here. We have seen people with children, out here, people with their pets out here, just coming and just watching this sight to behold. Is what it really is. You mentioned it looks like it's been struck by a natural disaster, and that's exactly what this looks like, all to bring that standoff to some sort of a peaceful resolution. And then we did come across that question about why did this take so long, nearly 38 hours, and police kind of addressed that today. They said that they wanted to go this route to safeguard everybody involved, from neighbors, from officers, even the suspect, which was actually pretty successful because the suspect was taken out alive. We were told that the suspect has been taking, actually, let me say the homeowner, because they're calling the homeowner the suspect. So they say the homeowner was, taken to the hospital for minor injuries, as well as an evaluation, a mental evaluation. So the fact that they were able to come out alive just shows that what police were trying to do was successful in that route to safeguard everyone involved.
And we have reached out to the Ozaukee County Sheriff's Office to see if they have anyone, whether the sheriff or one of her deputies, to talk about, frankly, how they were able to get this homeowner to comply eventually to end this peacefully, which, considering how this started, they were saying that around 8:30 Thursday night, the homeowner was playing loud music, wasn't willing to turn it down, had weapons and was firing those weapons, and wasn't willing to comply with them at all. So certainly they're dealing with someone who they considered to be dangerous in terms of having those weapons, and a fully automatic rifle. Just the firepower there certainly gives a SWAT team some hesitation, and certainly have to think twice about everything. So, Darronte, we know you're working the story. You can catch his interviews with neighbors tonight on Fox 6 News at 9 and 10. Darronte, thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Sam.
So there you have it. This nearly 38-hour standoff that plays out in Fredonia, the Ozaukee County Sheriff's Office, again, brings it to a peaceful resolve. This homeowner, we're told, had some minor injuries, was taken to the hospital to be checked on those, and as well as a mental health evaluation, and is in custody. We're keeping tabs on the Ozaukee County Jail inmate list to see if we can deter who this is. And again, in the press release that they shared today, the Ozaukee County Sheriff's Office says the person they were dealing with was the homeowner. We have certainly been able to search through who that is in public records, but we're waiting to see and actually confirm all the way through that this is who we are talking about. That's going to do it for us here on the Wisconsin Live Desk. As we mentioned, we will catch Darronte's full reports on this story, and frankly, the end to this story for now, coming up tonight on Fox 6 News at 9 and 10. Thanks for joining us.